Hi everyone, it's Bonnie. I wanted to take a couple of minutes and share with you a mini album that I've worked on over the last couple of weekends. And this was actually inspired by Stephanie over at StephoGal1 here on YouTube. She did a springtime mini album that was a basic gray eclectic chipboard album. And what that was is every page had a different shape to it. And I loved how it looked. It was very fun. And so of course I had to go and make one for me. So I just went into my stash of chipboard albums and pulled different shapes out, and I came up with this little album here. And the papers I used were the pink Paislee London Market, it's new this year, along with a little bit of the Glitz Design French Kiss collection, and a few pages out of the Prima Printery. And so, I don't know if you can see very well, it says Family Adventures through this little window here. But I did a lot of distressing, and I used my Gathered Twigs distress ink on this, and as you can see, a lot of distressing all the way around all the edges. Some Prima bling here on the front. Cut this little window out of the Baroque die. And here at the bottom, I kept it very simple with some of the rosette trim that I used my Olivine Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist on, and then just inked up and distressed a couple of little roses to put in the middle. Kept the cover very simple, just used a little seam binding as the closures here, binding. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to just emphasize that little window that was coming through. So the back side of the cover is this little Recollections bling there in the corner. Down here at the bottom you may recognize the Graphic 45. Oh goodness, I think this is the Communique line that came out of. I have a little bit of mulberry paper tucked behind one of these Wild Orchid Crafts heart appliques. Anything hearts I love, love, love. And some of these scratch paper, I cut out this little butterfly using my Martha Stewart punch and just a couple of bling in the middle. And then the second page is circular. So all around the edge I took this trim that I had in my stash, and I used the, what color did I use? Red Velvet Glimmer Mist. And I did it so it was, you know, it's not even. I don't know if you can tell with the colors here very well, but it's very uneven coloring, and so it gives it a very aged look. A little Baroque die that I put there to highlight the title of the book, and you can see there's some masking on that, and then the stamp Family Adventures, which is a 7 Gypsy stamp. K & Company, one of my ephemera kits from K & Company. Just a basic, it was a white flower, and I used wheat fields and then edged it with red velvet and a little pearl trim there in the center. And turning the page, the back side of the circular one, I used one of my Prima Nature's Garden journaling cards and cut it so that it matched the circle to make a pocket, and then just made a couple of tags to go inside. Here's another journaling card from Prima that I cut in half, and you'll see the other half later on. And then just used a flower that I used Olivine on again there. Boy, I'm having a hard time thinking of what colors I used. A little stamping there on the back, and just a couple of papers backed there with Prima flower there in the center. And I made a little banner here. I just used this as fiber underneath. These banner pieces are from Pink Paislee, the Parisian collection. Then I just cut some 1-inch circles and used a alphabet set that my mother-in-law had that I love and spelled out love. That's ironic. Okay. And a little flower on either side. As you can see, the next page is half of a butterfly. And I did a Prima flower out of my stash up there, just a little bit of bling. This was a piece that I had did a border punch on, and just stuck the little piece in the middle. That's one of the Prima buttons, wood buttons, that has a damask pattern on it and just a little piece of fiber in it. So when you open it up, you get the effect of the full butterfly. And I left the inside very plain. This is part of the paper. Kind of getting a glare on there. Sorry, my lighting's not great. so that there's room for pictures, because this is a kind of a smaller album, and so there's smaller spaces for pictures, so I didn't want to fill it up too much and make it impossible to put anything in. Up here is a chipboard flower that I distressed and inked. It's got a resist pattern on it, and then I did just a little circle punch behind with a butterfly. This is an Anna Griffin butterfly punch that I have, and some bling down the middle. This, I believe, is a Glitz design sticker that came, and just another piece of that punched border that I did, and just the extra of my trim that was on that second page there that we saw earlier. This page, you may notice the top note shape, one of my favorite shapes. And this is the other, or a piece I should say, out of the Glitz design French Kiss. Did a little bit of a doily behind it, little bling in the corner there. Down here are some fibers that I hid tucked underneath of a black crochet. This is a metal flower. I believe it's the spare parts that I got from Hobby Lobby. This is the paper. I love this paper. This is the French Kiss pattern, and so I didn't want to cover all that up down there. It just looks very vintage, and I love it. Up here in the corner is a really fun, it's part of the Glitz design, and they call it Glitzers. It's a sticker with all kinds of glitzy, and you can see the bling going all the way around. And then I just did another Martha Stewart punched butterfly there on top with some bling. Whoops, sorry to bump the camera. On the back of this is a spot for a tag that pulls out, and this was out of my stash. I made this a long time ago. You may see a lot of embossing, some masking, a lot of coloring and distressing, and just some bling down here in the corner, just some pieces of paper tucked under there. And this is a Maya Road craft envelope that I did distressing on. Just did a little piece of paper that was out of my stash. I don't remember, of course, torn edges. There's a little piece of that punched border again, a little ephemera that had the Eiffel Tower on it, and a little piece of green velvet ribbon down there, trim at the bottom I should say. And inside are just a couple of tags, distressed and stamped on. I love that lace stamp. I just got it from Kaiser Craft, and it's very pretty. I love it a lot. This came out of my stash from one of the first things I ever bought from Webster's Pages, and it's a little card, says a beautiful day, so I did a lot of distressing on it. And then of course it has XOXO in the back. And just a flower in the front. Again, I did the same wheat fields all over, and then the red velvet around the edges, and distressed that up and made that look real antique. The heart. Oh, love the hearts, love the hearts. And the paper on this is just so beautiful and vintage looking that I, again, didn't want to cover it up too much, so I just did a simple little circular spot there for a photo and a little acetate over the top. I believe this was out of one of my K & Company ephemera packages, and just some bling in the corner. So very simple, but I love how that page turned out. The back side, this is a chipboard flourish piece that I had, that I did some, I had used my script stamp on, stamped that, and a lot of inking, and so that serves as the pocket for this page. And in this pocket I've got a little teeny tiny book here that I just did some pieces and such on, a lot of distressing, and a simple little circular piece, and this piece here, and I cut the paper so that you could see that it says The Lover's Wish. I like that a lot. And this is one of the larger, and when you turn it over you can see that I backed, whoops, turned my camera a little bit and lost some of my light in there, sorry, let me readjust. Okay, so when you turn that over there, I just backed the back side with the same punch, made a little pocket on this with some paper and more of those graphic 45 stamps that go across, and just a little tiny tag goes in there, nothing fancy. Okay, and that's another one of those Glitzer stickers from Glitz Design. I like those a lot. And then this page, this was one whole page, a chipboard piece that I had that I cut in half, and I like this shape on it. I hope you're getting an idea of the shape of that. But at any rate, I did an acetate piece behind, and this is also one of the pink Paislee chipboard pieces, like the banner I did earlier, and I just did a little tiny photo mat there. And so when you open up there, you can get the idea of what the piece looked like before I cut it in half. So just a simple spot there for a little photo. Distressed and colored. That flower was white to start with. Another one, excuse me, another one of the pink Paislee chipboard flower pieces that's got writing on it. Distressed it and did a little bow. And this side is a little acetate piece with the bird. I think it's so cute. A little spot for either some journaling or a little photo of some sort. And the back of that one I kept real simple. That's the other side of the other half of that journaling tag that I mentioned that was in that first pocket. So feel free to cut up your papers, ladies, and just, you know, to quote Stephanie, have fun. So then down here in the corner I used some of the Tim Holtz film strip, tucked that behind one of the Prima wooden clocks, and stuck a little flower right in the center. Last but not least, look at this paper. Is that just not gorgeous? I just think it's stunning. I would do a whole album with that paper right there if I could. So because of the beauty of the paper, I didn't want to cover it up a whole lot, so I kept it real simple. Did a piece of kind of a brownish trim in the background there that I had in my stash. And you may notice this little border punch going around. That's one of the Martha Stewart punch around the page. So I did that as the backing. And that's just a little heart cameo lady there. And so when you untie the little booklet, it opens up like this. So you get 3 spots going that way and 2 spots going that way. So I tried to make up for sorry about that, my battery died. So anyway, I was just saying that I put this little booklet on the back that would hold several pictures because I know that this mini album is a little shy on picture space. And then the back page, I just left the way it is. I just think that paper is gorgeous. So when I figure out if, I haven't decided yet if I'm keeping this or if it's going to be a gift for someone. So once I get that figured out, I'll put a little sticker on the back with, you know, a note and a signature and so forth. And that's it. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I really had fun making this little album. And I'm excited to get on to the next project. So I hope you're all having a great day. We'll talk to you all later. Bye.